I'm Jessie Heredia, and you're listening to Mom Empowered, where I help moms ditch their anger, break free from anxiety, and create the life they've always wanted. This show is for the mom who's ready to become more free and empowered. Okay, ladies, I am so excited that you guys are here for this new evolution, this first episode of the Mom Empowered podcast. Whether you have been a longtime listener of the show, which up until now has been the Soul Care for the New Mom podcast, or whether you are brand new, I just want to welcome you, and I want to share with you my heart behind Mom Empowered and how I believe it will be serving you moving forward. When I first launched my first ever podcast back in September 2017, which was nearly 3 years ago, that is so crazy. Back in 2017, I was a new mom. I was a stay-at-home mom who had a dream of using what I'm learning in my motherhood journey and in my faith to encourage other new moms just like me. And for 2 years, that really was my sole mission. I just wanted to encourage moms. I wanted to speak truth into their lives. I wanted to point them to Christ and build a community for like-minded women. But what ended up happening in 2019, just last year, was there was suddenly this new stirring in my heart, this desire to move from just encouraging women to empowering women. I knew that I still wanted my own personal journey and my story to somehow be used to serve other moms, but suddenly it wasn't just about sharing what I'm walking through. I started making a pivot and began to equip moms for what they were walking through, giving them tools and strategies and truths that I really had lacked for so long, but the things that had changed my life once I learned how to incorporate them. So soon after this, I found myself launching a business, and I stepped into this role of mom empowerment coach, and I began equipping and empowering moms for breakthroughs in their own life, very similar to the breakthroughs I myself have experienced in the areas of anxiety, perfectionism, anger, postpartum rage. These topics and this mission to help women step into freedom became the new backbone of my podcast, of everything I do, really. And so as much as I still love the name Soul Care for the New Mom, and it will always have a place in my heart, I feel as though I have outgrown it. And that changing the name of my show to Mom Empowered really is one of the best ways to communicate to you what my new mission really is. Now, a core belief behind the work that I do as an empowerment coach for moms is that the moms who most enjoy motherhood are the moms who feel the most empowered in motherhood. And I really do believe that this concept of empowerment is not a woo-woo cultural trend like what you might think based on what you might see on social media or what might be out there in our culture today. But really, empowerment is a biblical principle. I really do believe it's one of the foundations of the Christian faith. When you examine the concept of empowerment from a scriptural point of view, you find that it's not about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps or making your own destiny or having the confidence to control 100% of your life. No, it's really about walking in the power that's been given to us by God for God. It's about rising up to step into God's calling on our lives. It's about walking in the freedom that Jesus has already won for us and fully utilizing the ability He's given us to resist sin and live a life of holiness and godliness and righteousness. We are told in John 10, verse 10, that Jesus came so that we might have life, and not just have a somewhat okay life, but a life that is to the full, a life of abundance. And I don't know about you, but when I used to think about the way that my emotional health was suffering and how my struggles with anxiety and rage were hurting and affecting the people I loved most, the last word I would use to describe myself or my life was the word abundant. Because I didn't feel abundance. I felt like I was lacking. I was lacking in health, lacking in self-control, lacking in joy and love even. But what's so amazing is that just because we feel this lack doesn't mean that we're hopeless. It doesn't mean that those things are out of our grasp. What it means is that we have yet to learn how to grab hold of what is already there, what is already available to us. So if we want to experience this kind of abundant living, I believe we need to start really taking Jesus's words to heart. We need to really believe that it is for freedom Christ has set us free. And this is what it means to be empowered. An empowered woman, an empowered mom has the confidence to wield the authority and the power she's already been given to walk in freedom. Now, after working with dozens of women struggling with anxiety, anger, overwhelm, and inability to reach their goals, a desire to step into the immeasurably more that God has for them, it's become so apparent to me that moms today need to feel empowered more than ever. And not just so that they can create the life they want for themselves, but also so that they can truly be the healthy, free, confident women God has created them to be, so that they can raise their families in the way that they are called to raise them. So here on the Mom Empowered podcast, you are going to continue to be empowered, and not just by me, but by guests that I will be bringing on who will be speaking to different aspects of life and motherhood. And my goal for you is that you will walk away from each episode with either a new tool, a new perspective, or a next step that will lead you closer to emotional wellness and freedom, because this is what the Lord is calling you to. This is the kind of abundant living He is offering. And here's what I'll say about Mom Empowered. I don't want this to be a podcast that you listen to and walk away from unchanged. I truly want this show to offer so much value, so many game-changing mindset shifts, the tools and strategies that I use with my own clients, that I use in my own life, and can help move the needle forward for you if you let them. This show is for the mom who's wanting to finally overcome her anxiety or her anger and become the best version of herself. This show is for the go-getter, the high-achieving woman, the mompreneur with big goals and dreams who wants to move past her emotional hang-ups and be able to live a life and build a business and go after goals in a way that is better aligned with her values. This show is for the wife who is wanting to cultivate a stronger marriage and a more joy-filled home that she can feel inspired by and proud of. In essence, this show is not just for new moms. This show is for any mom in any season of any age who is ready to step into more confidence and freedom. And if this is you, I am so glad you're here, and I am so excited to keep serving you. I hope you keep listening and learning and keep stepping into the immeasurably more that the Lord has for you. If you are ready to take that next step forward and truly become the free, empowered mom you were created to be, I want to invite you to learn more about the work I do as an empowerment coach for moms through my Mom Empowered coaching program. Each week, I work with women on mastering their thoughts, aligning their life with their values and dreams, and taking empowered action that leads to breakthrough. And I can do the same for you. You can visit my website, jessieheredia.com, to learn more and apply for a free empowerment call with me.